Welcome to Beyond the Veil. I am Adina, you guys' is a resident medium woo lady and hostess with the mostest here at Beyond the Veil with Adina. I'm Adina. Hi, nice to meet you. If I'm meeting you for the very first time, I would just like to say hello. It's nice to meet you here on my platform. I am a medium and a crazy lady, according to some people. So if that is not your thing, God bless you on your way out in peace. And if I interest you or what I do here might interest you, you are more than welcome to stay. And I appreciate everyone who's joining me here for the first time, as well as any um, return viewers and subscribers. God bless you on this day of Saturn. It's so ironic that we use Saturday to do all our fun stuff. We like to have fun or, do leisurely things on Saturdays when those are the days, that's the day of Saturn. Restriction and boundaries and discipline and responsibilities. It's so ironic how we treat Monday like how we probably should treat Saturn days. Anyways, ramblings of a mad woman. All right, I'm just going to wait for some of you guys to start joining me. I'm going to wait for some of you guys to start telling me how your day is going so far in the chat before I begin talking about what I came here to discuss and kind of look into this afternoon really quick. I just got back from the gym and having a brunch with my cousin, and I am ready for a nap, a post-gym nap. I got ceremony to do this evening, so I am not going to be here before you guys long. Happy Saturday again to all of you guys who are just joining me. Please let me know how you're doing in the chat, how you're doing this Saturday. All right, well, I don't see any interaction in the chat, but it looks like I have some people here, and that's random. That's weird. It's weird that I don't see any of my subscribers. Hello, Tilan. How are you? That's a beautiful name. Is it Tilan, like Milan? Am I pronouncing it right? All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't know where all of my subscribers and regular viewers are, but okay, good. Beautiful name. All right, well, speaking of beautiful names and names that I want to ensure that I'm pronouncing correctly, I'm here to kind of talk about, you're welcome, Ibrahim. Now, his last name, I feel like I'm going to mispronounce Traore. Ibrahim Traore, he is the president of Burkina Faso in Africa. He is a military officer and the president of Burkina Faso in Africa. Now, why would I be talking about a, random African politician on this platform when there's so many of them? Thank you, Tilan. Well, it's because Mr. Ibrahim has liberated Burkina Faso from France. He pretty much told France that we are our own sovereign nation now. We're independent. We don't need you anymore. Kind of like what the Haitians did over in Haiti to the French, but without the war. But the same result. And so what he is doing is revolutionary, so to speak, according to some. I'm one of those people who feel like what he is doing over in Burkina Faso is revolutionary. And even though I don't have a lot of detail because I'm not in Africa, I don't have boots on the ground, but from what I can see, from where I am sitting and the information that I receive about what's going on over in Burkina Faso, I am in solidarity with what Ibrahim Traore is doing over in Burkina Faso by taking back his country's sovereignty from the French. And in so there, I believe, since he has become president, because I believe he was an interim president at first, and then he may have ousted, or whatever the case. He It says, according to Google's overview, he took control of Burkina Faso in September of 2022, ousting interim president Paul Henry Sang Santiago Demiba in a coup d'etat. So, since taking over Burkina Faso in 2022, I believe that it's reported that there has been maybe approximately 18 assassination attempts on him. And some believe that it has a lot to do with him ousting the French and the French control, the colonization of Burkina Faso, and saying we don't need France's intervention. We don't need your banks. We will. He actually restored the national language. It's no longer French. They do not wear the headpieces, the colony headpieces, as I will say, that is popular in a lot of courts over in Africa. So I believe he also restored um, observation, like a legal observation of the country's um, native spirituality. And so he seems to be taking the shackles of colonization off of Burkina Faso. And I'm not familiar with if there are any other current African leaders who are also acting in that same revolutionary way as him. I know that in the past there have been other leaders that have attempted to do so, and they've been successfully assassinated. Maybe the most recent one was what was his name? Um, Slips my mind. What is his name? He was the last leader in Africa to be assassinated, and they I'm about to get his, because it's just slipped my mind. I know I could just put in assassinated African leaders. There's one in specific that I'm thinking about, and I think he was the most recent. Um, my goodness. What is it? My goodness. Somebody help. It's he was the most recent. What I keep uh I'm not gonna be able to move past this until not Sankara. No. Gaddafi. Oh, that was killing me. Is Sankara the latest? I thought Gaddafi was the most recent. Yes, Gaddafi is who I was thinking about. He was in 2011. I'm not sure if there are any more that were sort of revolutionary because I only thought about him and the rest of them because they were revolutionary and they kind of um yes, Gaddafi of Libya. Yes, what they did to Libya. Um I I believe that any time an African nation seeks to release the shackles of colonization, and Gaddafi definitely was one of them. That was the name that I was thinking of. Sankara and all of them, they were assassinated way before Gaddafi, I believe. So I was thinking about him because he was the last one. Now, and that's what makes me want to do a reading on Ibrahim Traore, because he is another African leader who is unshackling their country, their nation from the shackles of colonization. And I do believe there's been at least 18 assassination attempts on him. And he's spoken about them recently. Even I think a journalist asked him if he was afraid. And he said he wasn't afraid because he had faith in the people of Burkina Faso. And I took that to mean he has faith that his people will be in support of the movements that he's trying to do. And I think that when everybody is on one accord like that, it's difficult to take them down. It's like everybody in Haiti, there's the spirituality, the Haitian voodoo that they use in Haiti to help or to precede their battle for release from the French. That was back when all of Haiti was on one accord, even spiritually. So even them working their voodoo and their ceremonies and working their woo, they were all working on one accord or for the same one sound, one mind. And when the spirit of a people, of a nation is intact like that, it becomes a living entity. It becomes a God because it's the collective spirit, the collective consciousness of thousands and thousands or millions of people. So it becomes its own person. It's harder to take it down like that. It's only when nations are divided in their intent or in their actions, in their spirit, is when it's easier to keep that nation subjugated. And so I think Ibrahim understands that as long as all of the people of Burkina Faso stand in solidarity with freeing themselves from the shackles of colonization, then that is where the gods, the spirits, will step in and defend and protect them. And that's why he hasn't been assassinated yet. So I like that he understands how energy and the spirit works, the spirit of the collective and how it works. And so any revolutionary reader, I feel like is worthy of a conversation on my platform, and it's my opinion that he is a revolutionary. And so, yeah, it actually says that some sources claims that there have been at least 19 or 20 assassination attempts on him. The most recent public claims made in April and June of this year, I believe that um, there was an attempt to pay one of his bodyguards $5 million to take him out, but his bodyguard wouldn't do it. And shout out to the bodyguard. That shows that one band, one sound over there. So I'm just gonna read Mr. Ibrahim and just take a look at him from a spiritual perspective. Take a look at what's going on around him and in his life currently. All right, Most High Mother and Father God, thank you for this day of Saturn. Thank you for the discipline of Saturn, because I really want to take a nap after the gym and after a shower and after a meal. But here we are. Thank you for my gifts that has brought us together, myself and these people who join me. Thank you for YouTube for being a gracious platform and hosting my shenanigans. Thank you for the leaders who are taking a stand for the greatest good of their people and their nation. Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of President Ibrahim Traore. Please forgive me if I mispronounce his name. Sounds like his last name could have some of that French influence that precedes him. So I want to make sure it's Traore and not Traore or Traore or something like that. Please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of the leader of Burkina Faso in Africa, Ibrahim Traore. Please allow me to see his spirit, soul, and collective energy and his spirit and soul's truth, keeping nothing hidden from me. And even if nothing is hidden from me, if there's anything I see that might jeopardize his safety, I promise to not say it. I promise to not say it. You have my word. You know, in my mind, spirits say, to whom much is given, much is required. And that's not just a message to me. I think they're also speaking about Ibrahim Traore. I think that it does not ever not cross his mind that his life is in jeopardy. And for a person to take on a mantle when there are so many easier ways for them, you don't have to be a public servant. You don't have to put your own life and safety and well-being on the line for the greater good of a people, a collective people, even when you know that not even all of those people might appreciate what you're doing. I don't think it, I think that this man, and I think a lot of politicians and leaders, not just politicians, it doesn't take much to be a politician, but a leader, all carry a heaviness about them, a weariness of spirit, because you have to will yourself to get up and live for a purpose that does not always serve you, that you may not even be around to see the fruit of, you know? I pick up that in his spirit and I identify with it as somebody that's always been in a leadership position, even when I didn't want to. And I hear, to whom much is given, much is required. And I think he understands that. I think that this is a selfless leader. And I think that if he did participate in a coup, I think he felt like it was because the previous administration in Burkina Faso would not ride for Burkina Faso like he would. Unfortunate for you, Bird Guy 45, I don't have not one baby daddy. And you're dismissed. The only thing that we know for sure is your nature is low. I'll just say low vibrational. Because I don't have any baby daddies. But one thing that I can observe factually from you, or at least based on my opinion, is that you ain't shit. So that's the only fact that either one of us can come up with. The only accurate observation. Anyways. All right. Ibrahim Traore. Please allow me to see into your world right now from your soul's perspective. Please allow me to see the collective energy and what's currently going on in the life, in the spirit, soul, personal life, thoughts, mind, body, spirit of Ibrahim Traore. Again, I keep feeling compelled to give my word that if I see anything that could jeopardize his safety, to not say it. And I have to watch for that, because you never know what you see and if it's going to jeopardize somebody's safety. But Spirit said you'll know if you see it. I know they have, Gometi. I know they have. Actually, one of the reasons I wanted to read him was to give this is my energetic support. If there are people who aren't aware of him and his work that follow my platform, then they will be after seeing this reading. And so this is my way of at least doing what I can to spread awareness to his work by reading him. You never know if I can inspire something positive, just like I never know if I say something that might jeopardize somebody's safety, because I'm just reading what I see. Currently, there are active attempts to take him down. Sir, this is why I got that message I did when I tapped into his spirit and realized that it's not a day that goes by that this man isn't aware that his life is on the line. And it is. Right now, there's another sabotage attempt. If he isn't aware that it's going on, it's going on. It's going on. He's been infiltrated again. So if there is a way that my video, if he isn't aware, that my voice can alert him, you got to know that in your camp, there's another one. And I say another one because I just mentioned that his security guard said that he was approached and offered $5 million to take Mr. Abraham out, and he didn't do it. Well, there's another one. There may be a couple more, but there is an active, I believe that there is an active attempt going on right now. And rather it's, reached its culmination or not, there is one. And it's someone close to him. So there's another one, Mr. Abraham. Be careful. And I do believe that it is not someone, I don't believe that who wants it done is someone from his own country. I believe that it's a foreign interest who is responsible for this current attempt. Foreign interests. I see, in my mind, I see the leader of France and his allies, or whomever, his allies. There's somebody that they have a grip on in Mr. Abraham's camp currently. Well, why? It's because he's messing up the church's money. He's messing up the business of how things have been run. The Europeans run ting, and then everybody else pays their dues to kind of run ting in their own home. I don't think he's lining his pockets for selling out the soul of his country. And so I believe that currently there is a foreign interest. I believe there is a foreign leader who has a mole in your camp, Mr. Ibrahim. In the past, this is the coup. And I feel like Ibrahim did the coup because he did not agree with the way the leaders, the previous leaders in his country, um, seem to have operate to foreign interests. Because the world was placed in their hands, in their land, power was given to them to rule, but power was given to them from the nations that had power over them, meaning the foreign nations. France, if we're talking Burkina Faso, as long as the African leaders were doing their, staying in line, then they had the world of power and riches placed in their hands, and they were constantly selling out the soul of Africa and their individual nations that they rule for whatever benefits they've been getting from the foreign entities that colonize them. Well, Mr. Ibrahim seemed to say enough is enough. I will oust the previous leaders, and then I will oust the colonizers. No mas, no more. I do believe that he has an ally of business that he is working with. That could be Russia. He has a meeting coming up, a very important one, with some European nation that is an ally, at least for the sake of business. Whoever this is that's doing business with him, they are a more powerful nation. And so that's one of the reasons he's doing business with them. It's not because he chooses to, but because he has to play chess right now. So he does have to, since he has made powerful enemies in the West, then he needs powerful allies. And I believe I've read Russia is a business ally right now. And Russia doesn't mind, well, because they have a common enemy in the West. Russia is willing to pull up a chair so that Burkina Faso can have a seat at the table, as long as they are giving the powers that be in the West a hard time. So Russia doesn't mind. It benefits Russia because they get to do business with a leader who I believe Putin feels like is a powerful leader. He probably respects him in some way. And he's looking at it like anybody who is who has their foot on the necks of the U.S. and is making their ass cheeks itch, come have a seat at the table. Oh, they want to keep you out from the boys club? I'll sponsor you. Probably. I can see them meeting up in some secret locations. Back rooms of ancient buildings, possibly some sort of very old ancient buildings, secret rooms, secret tunnels to get to these rooms. So I can see that. I can see that. This definitely looks like he's giving intel into the inner workings of things. Does Burkina Faso have or export oil? Let me see. Does Burkina Faso have oil? No. And they don't produce their own oil. So this is what's crowning them. I think one of the things that's working against them is that they don't have oil and they don't produce their own oil. I think that's an issue for him, or what he might feel like is their current biggest issue. If they had their own oil, then he wouldn't need to make buddy with some of the nations that he does. I definitely think he's playing a long game. And it's not that he hates Russia. I think he is pro-independent Burkina Faso. Having their own oil would make them more independent. So not having or producing their own oil is, I believe, what he considers their biggest, the biggest thing working against them. This is, it seems, who they have to get their oil from. Country imports refined petroleum products such as from where? Where do they import from? Who provides oil? This feels like an Arab country or something. To Burkina Faso. It says other countries, but it doesn't really say. While there have been reports and rumors of a large oil discovery by Russia's Gazprom, these are unsubstantiated, and analysts suggest they are politically motivated. So that's what this is. This is them not having their own oil. This would be Russia, or the rumor that Russia discovered a huge oil reserve in Burkina Faso. That could be the business part of what they have going on. Russia could be looking for oil in Burkina Faso, and they would strike a deal with Burkina Faso and they would do business with each other, but it would probably benefit Burkina the most because Russia wouldn't take full control over Burkina. They would just do business with them. If they haven't found any, then they're looking for some. Burkina probably haven't had the resources to really dig and look around. Russia might provide that. It says Iran has agreed to help Burkina Faso build an oil refinery. I said this feels Middle Eastern. I believe it's Iran. Could be Russia because of these snow-capped mountains. Russia or Iran, either one of those feel good. Now, currently, this is also the attempt to take him out. So he is very much aware, always ever present in his consciousness that his life is always on the line. And I think he does know. I think he never feels like his life is not on the line. It'd be dangerous for him to drop his guard and think that, there's a moment of peace. I don't think he ever operates like there's a moment of peace. So if y'all want to get him, y'all gonna always have to work your hardest to do it, because he never or moves like his life is not on the line. Even if it seems like it's relative peace and quiet, he doesn't have his guard down. And he does what he's supposed to do spiritually. He has very strong spiritual protection. It's why the African ancestors allowed that coup to happen. Even the spirits in Africa are ready. If the people don't want to get ready, then they'll support any leader who does want to do it. They'll lead them to do it. And I'm not saying that they won't be successful in taking him out, but this one has strong spiritual protection. And I think it's because of maybe something that I know he's Muslim. He must be very disciplined and devout. The nations, this sounds like France to me. Obviously, France is your biggest op right now, Mr. Ibrahim, because you kicked them out. They feel like you are ungrateful, ironically, because you told a squatter to get out, so they feel that you're ungrateful. They also feel like you don't play the game, You are no nonsense. You are militant. You don't like to fancy up to them. You don't want to politic with them. You are there for business, for the business of your people. And I think it makes it difficult for them to checkmate you if you're not playing politics with them. Makes it difficult for them to get access to you, intel into you. They feel like you got some nerve. The nerve of him. What's never going to happen, as long as this man is in a position of power, is allowing France to take, or anybody. He's not going to allow anyone to take from Africa or his nation and give them the lesser. Yes, Gometi, it is a different day now. The time has come. If the people will not evolve, the evolution will happen, and it'll just be a revolution. But if people, if the people want to stay put, that's fine. But they will get behind the leaders who are brave enough to do what needs to be done regardless. And as long as he's in a position of power over there in Burkina Faso, I don't see him doing any dirty business with those foreign nations. Not that doesn't benefit Burkina Faso. Um, he will erect something or start something beneficial to Burkina. So whatever business he's currently working on, it will produce something new, something probably that hasn't been done before. His efforts won't be in vain. He'll introduce something to Burkina Faso that benefits them, puts them in a position to kind of have a little bit of autonomy for themselves. Thank you, Victor. Could possibly have something to do with oil or petroleum. Oil. A nuclear reactor plant? Okay. Well, that requires oil, right? Or petroleum? Whispers erupted across Africa that Russia's Gazprom had uncovered a hidden ocean of crude beneath Burkina Faso. Russian energy giant Gazprom discovered a massive 50 billion barrels of crude oil in Burkina Faso. I think so. Because this would be them not having to really take any handouts from anyone. Well, because of all this, something that they once thought was barren is not barren, giving them this new fresh opportunity and pissing somebody's leader off. I think it's France, Macron. And it's because they won't be able to keep Burkina Faso in debt to them and their allies. If they can start producing their own oil. I like it. I like this. All right. Now, let's check out this assassination attempt really quick. Okay. I can't say that. Okay. Shout out to Burkina Faso, who is on the come up. Where in Africa is that? Is that in East Africa, West Africa, South Africa? Let me pull up a map real quick. West Africa. Okay. I still want to see it in a map. I'm a visual girl. Burkina, okay, country in West Africa. All right. Oh, okay, it's right above Ghana. Gometi, isn't that where you are in Ghana? All right, it's bordered by Mali to the northwest, Benin to the southeast, Togo and Ghana to the south, the Ivory Coast to the southwest. It's got a population of approximately 23 million. I do too. Actually, I know this isn't Benin, but I just started doing research so I could start putting the plans together for my 40th birthday, and we're going to take a trip to Africa. But I really want to go to Zanzibar because of the beaches. I'm going to take another trip at some point, and it'll just be me, and it'll be for cultural, spiritual research purposes. But on my 40th, I'm going to go to Zanzibar because it's the beaches there. I mean, come on. Have you guys seen the beaches there? I do want to take a 14-day trip though by myself so that I can really submerge myself into the culture and the spirit of the motherland. Go to the more important places that I want to visit. And Benin is definitely one of those places. I hope you get to visit, Rita. All right. I didn't look at those assassination attempts. Well, actually, I did, but if I spoke about that, then I'd have to say things that I promised that I wouldn't say for his safety. So what I will say is he's going to accomplish some of the things that he set out to accomplish. I don't see anybody taking him out anytime soon, at least. Definitely see some issues with Macron over there in France because he's done kicked them out and now they can't bankrupt and all of that, keep Burkina Faso indebted to them anymore. Messed up the church's money. And I'm here for it. It's definitely going to liberate Burkina, give them some opportunity, independence. And I do think it has something to do with some sort of crude oil, whether it's nuclear or oil refinery. I think they got something going on up in there, and it's going to lead to something new and beneficial. All right, well, it's snap 30 for me. I can't take it any longer. So I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Love you. Bye.